Across the world a small flame is kindled. The first night of Hanukkah. A single candle is lit on the menorah, pushing back the winter darkness. Each night another candle is added, the light growing stronger. Families gather, sing ancient songs, spin dreidels, and eat foods fried in oil. Hanukkah is a celebration of light in the darkest time of the year, but behind the warm glow lies a story of struggle and survival. Hanukkah's roots are not in cozy homes but on ancient battlefields. It began with a desperate rebellion over 2,000 years ago, a fight for faith and identity. The festival honors a small group who stood up to a mighty empire, refusing to let their traditions be erased. To understand Hanukkah, we must travel back to Judea in the 2nd century BCE. The Jewish people, devoted to their God and the temple in Jerusalem, faced a new threat, the culture of the Greeks. Greek philosophy, art, and gods swept across the land, threatening to swallow Judea whole. Hanukkah is the story of two worlds colliding, a tale of resistance and the courage to say no. The songs, games, and foods of today echo that ancient struggle. The 8 nights of light are a testament to faith and the unquenchable thirst for freedom. Hanukkah is not just about a military victory, but about the enduring power of belief. It is a living memory of a time when the flame of Jewish life nearly went out. Each candle lit is a reminder of the courage to keep that flame alive. The story begins with a world on the brink of losing its light. Our story begins with Alexander the Great, whose empire stretched from Greece to India. He brought Greek language and culture, Hellenism, to every land he conquered, including Judea. Alexander was tolerant of local traditions, but his early death left his empire divided. His generals fought for control, splitting the empire into rival kingdoms. Judea became a pawn between two Greek dynasties, the Ptolemies in Egypt and the Seleucids in the east. For over a century, the Ptolemies ruled Judea, allowing Jews to practice their faith. Greek culture influenced the upper classes, but Jewish religious life remained strong. This balance was shattered when the Seleucid king Antiochus III conquered Judea. At first he respected Jewish customs, but the Seleucid Empire was more aggressive in promoting Hellenism. They saw a unified Greek culture as the key to controlling their diverse territories. The Seleucid shadow fell over Judea, bringing new pressure to conform. Greek influence deepened, and the stage was set for conflict. The Jews faced a choice: adapt or resist. The Seleucids began to interfere in Jewish affairs, seeking to mold Judea into a Greek province. The fragile peace was gone. The seeds of rebellion were sown. The struggle for the soul of Judea was about to ignite. The next chapter would be written in defiance. The empire's reach was long, but the will to resist was growing. The coming conflict would change history. Hanukkah's story was set in motion. The light of tradition was under threat. Under Seleucid rule, Hellenization accelerated from influence to imposition. Greek ways, philosophy and art, and the gymnasium challenged Jewish beliefs and traditions. The gymnasium, with its athletic contests and nudity, clashed with Jewish values of modesty and piety. Hellenistic philosophy questioned everything. Jewish faith was rooted in unwavering belief. This cultural battle split the Jewish people. Wealthy, urban Jews embraced Greek culture, building a gymnasium near the temple and seeking to transform Jerusalem into a Greek city. They saw tradition as an obstacle to progress. Traditionalists, mostly in rural areas, clung to the Torah and the covenant with God. They saw Hellenizers as traitors, abandoning their heritage. The Seleucids exploited this division, supporting Hellenizing Jews and interfering in the appointment of the high priest. The sacred office became a political tool, corrupting spiritual leadership. The temple itself was threatened from within. The soul of Judea hung in the balance. The conflict grew bitter and dangerous. The pressure to conform intensified. The stage was set for open revolt. The battle for identity was about to turn deadly. The conflict exploded with the rise of Antiochus IV, a king who called himself God Manifest. Determined to unify his empire, he saw Jewish monotheism as defiance. He plundered the temple, stripping it of its treasures. Then he unleashed a wave of terror, massacres, slavery, and the building of a Greek fortress in Jerusalem. Antiochus outlawed Judaism. Torah study, Sabbath, and circumcision became crimes. Scrolls were burned, mothers executed for circumcising their sons. Jews were forced to eat pork and participate in pagan rituals. The ultimate insult, the temple was rededicated to Zeus, with pigs sacrificed on its altar. This abomination of desolation was a direct attack on Jewish faith. For the faithful it was a time of horror and despair. Their God dishonored, their laws broken, their people slaughtered. The light of their faith seemed extinguished. Darkness reigned in Jerusalem. The hope of survival faded, but in the shadows resistance was stirring. The fight for the light was about to begin. In the village of Modian, the priest Mattathias and his 5 sons refused to bow to Antiochus's decrees. When ordered to sacrifice to Greek gods, Mattathias defiantly refused. In a moment of fury, he killed a Hellenized Jew who stepped forward to obey, then struck down the king's official. There was no turning back. The family became outlaws. Fleeing to the hills, they called others to join them. "Let everyone zealous for the law follow me." Farmers, shepherds, and priests gathered, forming a band of rebels. They launched guerrilla attacks, tearing down pagan altars and striking at Hellenic rule. The rebellion was small and desperate, but hope was rekindled. The Maccabees, as they became known, fought for faith and freedom. Their courage inspired others. The fight for Judea had begun. Against all odds, the flame of resistance burned. The struggle for survival was underway. After Mattathias's death, leadership passed to his son Judah, known as Maccabee, the Hammer. Judah was a master of guerrilla warfare, using the hills to outmaneuver larger Seleucid armies. Motivated by faith, the Maccabees won stunning victories against overwhelming odds. Their numbers grew, and the tide turned. Key battles at Emmaus and Beth Zur opened the road to Jerusalem. After 3 years, the rebels reclaimed the city, though the Greek garrison held out in the fortress. The temple was in ruins, desecrated and overgrown. Judah and his followers wept at the sight, but quickly set to work. Priests cleansed and purified the sanctuary, tearing down the defiled altar and building a new one. New holy vessels were crafted to replace those stolen. The temple was restored, ready to be rededicated to God. The victory was not just military, but spiritual. The heart of Jewish life beat again in Jerusalem. The light of faith was rekindled. The stage was set for a new beginning. With the temple restored, the Maccabees chose the 25th of Kislev to rededicate it, 3 years after its desecration. The ceremony was a powerful symbol of triumph and renewal. To relight the menorah they needed pure oil, but found only one small jar, enough for a single day. Undeterred, they lit the menorah. According to tradition, a miracle occurred. The oil burned for 8 days until new oil could be prepared. The unbroken flame was seen as a sign of divine favor. In gratitude, Judah and the sages declared an annual festival, Hanukkah, meaning dedication. For 8 nights, lights would be kindled to remember the miracle. The Festival of Lights was born, celebrating both victory and the enduring power of faith. The menorah's glow became a symbol of hope. Hanukkah was established as a time of thanksgiving and praise. The miracle of the oil became its heart. The light would never again be allowed to go out. More than 2,000 years later, Hanukkah is celebrated by Jews worldwide. The menorah, or Hanukkah, with its 8 lights and the shamash, stands at the center of the holiday. Each night, families gather to light candles, sing songs, and share traditional foods like latkes and sufganiyot. Children spin dreidels, recalling the miracle with every turn. For centuries, Hanukkah was a minor festival, but in modern times it has become a major celebration of Jewish identity. In the U.S., it offers a joyful counterpart to the winter holidays, helping Jewish families celebrate their heritage. Hanukkah's message transcends history. It is the triumph of light over darkness, freedom over oppression, faith over despair. The Maccabees fought for the right to be different, to worship freely. The miracle of the oil is a metaphor for resilience, the spark of hope that endures. Even when hope seems lost, a small flame can light the way. Each candle is a reminder that freedom, once kindled, can never be extinguished. Hanukkah's story is one of courage, faith, and the enduring power of light. The flame continues to shine year after year.